one, two, three, four. The next four headings, chapters, in 2 pages are all about not eating hog, not eating pig, not eating pork. I'm not finna go over all that. I don't eat it. I don't have a problem with it, so I'm not finna read it. The headings are the hog is poison. The next heading is the hog and its eaters, which is a decent heading. It talks about how people react on it. The next part is medical science on hog. And then the last is the Bible forbids eating of hog. And that goes on into the second page. Following heading. The 144,000. This number is mentioned in the Bible, Revelations 14, chapter 1. Revelations chapter 14, verse 1. As being the number of the first believers in Allah God and His messenger. In the chapter, Revelations 14:1, the messenger of God is called a lamb due to certain characteristics of his being similar to that of a sheep, and the tender love of Allah for him is described like that of a good shepherd towards his sheep. Now let us understand what we are reading. The number 1444 is a prophecy about the future in symbolic terms and refers to a vision by Yaqub, the father of the white race, which he has seen on the island of Patmos in Pella 6,000 years ago. He was warning his people of that which could come to them at the end of their time. The number 144,000 in mathematics means a square, which is a perfect answer for the spiritual work of Allah with that number of people. They are the first Negro converts from among the wicked to Allah God and His messenger, referred to as the first ripe fruit, the first of the righteous, unto God and the Lamb in verse 4 of the same chapter. They are righteous enough, ripe, to be picked out of the wicked race, to be used for the purpose of squaring the nation of the earth into righteousness. After the righteous black nation has labored under the wicked rule of the devils for 6,000 years, the return to a righteous ruler under the God of righteousness, the people must be reorganized to live under such government. Slacking today. The all-wise God, Allah, to whom praise is due, who came in a person of Master W. Far Muhammad, seeking us, the lost and last members of a chosen nation, is building a new world of Islam out of the old. Therefore, he lays the base of his kingdom with a square number of mathematics, which represents truth. His new word of Islam can be proven mathematically step by step, and we all know that mathematics is truth. He, Allah, uses the square made of them whom he redeemed from man. They were not defiled with women, the women other than their own kind. This number will be made up of all the same so-called Negroes who have been the merchandise of the American whites for 400 years. They now must be redeemed by Allah God for them to be free according to the law of justice and become the servants of their own God Allah again. The so-called Negroes should shout to learn of the divine truth. The Revelator didn't see a single one of the Caucasian race in the number 144,000. He, Allah, gave the number of the beast in the previous chapter, Revelation 13:18, as 6, which is the true number of the Caucasian race, or the man of sin. The Bible says, "Let him that hath understand count the number of beasts." After the coming of Allah God, the symbolic beast is in his number have been revealed, it is now understood the number 144, its root is 12, and there are 12 tribes. The 12 imams is the real number. Allah said that we once had 13 tribes, but one got lost. The number 144 will be the star of the nation, and this number 144 multiplied by 12, a cube. This number 144,000 so-called Negroes under the guidance of Allah God will cube the whole nation of black mankind into a nation of righteousness. Heading: the hereafter. Reading: what is meant by the hereafter? It means after the destruction of the present world, its power and authority to rule. More specifically, it means after the present rule of the man of sin. Some say that the hereafter means after the judgment, that is, after the man of sin and his people have been judged and sentenced to death. I say that this present world was sentenced to death when the man of sin was made and all who follow him. It says in the Holy Quran, whoever of them will follow you, I will certainly fill hell with you. And when he says the Holy Quran, when he quotes, he gives the exact place, but sometimes I get tripped up on the terminology for chapter and verse. Sometimes I'll say verse, or sometimes I just get tripped up on chapter and verse, because I know when I write it chapter and then verse, but I do multiple verses sometimes. And I know in the Quran, I don't think it's chapter and verse in the Quran. I believe it's something else, so I'll just start saying those numbers only. I say that this present world was sentenced to death when the man of sin was made and all who follow him. It says in the Holy Quran 7:18, whoever of them will follow, I will certainly fill hell with you all. The Bible says these both were cast alive into a lake of fire. Revelations 19:20. We all look forward to a hereafter, to seeing and living under a ruler and a government of righteousness, after the destruction of the righteous. I just looked up because I realized, like, I'm reading head down because I'm just reading, but it's on camera. I don't know. When I listen to people read, I don't look at the phone, but I don't know if people be watching this just to hear it or watching this to see it and hear it. So try to look up. Heading: Armageddon. Some believe the hereafter means after the Great War of Armageddon, which is a religious war between the two great religions of the earth, Islam and Christianity, and their believers. Buddhism will also be involved in this Great War of Armageddon. Heading: what the hereafter will be like. The righteous will make an ultimate progress in the hereafter. Peace, joy, and happiness will have no end. Wars will be forgotten. There will be no place for disagreement. The present brotherhood of Islam is typical of the life in the hereafter. The only difference is that the brotherhood in the hereafter will enjoy the spirit of gladness and happiness forever in the presence of Allah. There will be such a change in the general atmosphere of the earth in the hereafter that the people will think it was a new earth. It will be the heaven of the righteous forever. No sickness, no hospitals, no insane asylum, no gambling, and no cursing or swearing will be seen or heard of in the life All fear, grief, and sorrow will stop on the side as proof. The life in the hereafter is an image of the spiritual state in this life. Just think how good you feel when in the divine spirit for a while. You are so happy that you don't feel even the pain of sickness, no trouble or sorrow, and that is the way you will feel always in the next life. Heading. For my followers, hereafter is now. Heading. For my followers, hereafter is now. Reading. Every one of us, the so-called Negroes, who accepts the religion of Islam and follows what Allah has revealed to me, will begin enjoying the above hereafter life here, now. Yes, the glorious joy and happiness is yours for the asking. My people, accept Islam and see your God in truth. The righteousness will meet and embrace you with peace. You will be clothed in silk, interwoven with gold, and eat the best food that you desire. This is the time when you enter such life, for your God is here in person, and you will never be that which you cannot be anymore after believing in Him. Heading. Hereafter, not a life of spirits. Reading. My people have been deceived by the arch deceiver in regards to the hereafter. They think the hereafter is a life of spirit spooks up somewhere in the sky, while it is only the earth, and you won't change any spirit beings. The life in the hereafter is only a continuation of the present life. You will be flesh and blood. You won't see spooks coming up out of a grave to meet God. Read the scriptures carefully on the life and the hereafter and try to understand their true meaning. And you will find that the hereafter isn't what you have been believing. My people, no one is going to leave this planet to live on another. You cannot even if you try. You can't reach the moon and live on it. So be satisfied and believe in Allah. Live where you are on this good earth, but be righteous. Heading. Holy Quran on the hereafter. Reading. The Holy Quran and the Bible are filled with the readings on the hereafter. Here I shall quote only these beautiful verses from the Quran. O soul that is at rest, return to your Lord, well pleased with Him, well pleasing. So enter among my servants and enter into my paradise. O soul that is at rest, return to your Lord, well pleased with Him, well pleasing. So enter among my servants and enter into my paradise.